Welcome back. You're watching DMV Dash a Trader, where we talk about this economy while delivering Doordash orders in the DMV region and observing market activities for ourselves. Oh boy, do I have some interesting topics for you today. First off, I don't know what the title of today's video is going to be. I'm yet to decide. But I was about to shoot, and take you out on a delivery. But I just got an order that just kind of made me thinking about a lot of things. And this is going to be kind of different. It's just going to be real. Like, I realize, we keep talking about the economy this, economy that. But a lot of people don't realize how real it is. Being a dasher out here in Baltimore, Washington D.C., and Northern Virginia, I have realized that you are having a surge of people trying to have side hustles. And I think a lot of people out there are realizing this economy doesn't work for them. And are thinking, what do I do? How do I get in a better shape? How do I take care of the bills? And what do I do for my family? And what I'm going to say today is that after doing quite a number of side hustles myself, there are some of them that used to be okay and now are better. And there are some of them that used to be okay and now are horrible. And today, I'm going to just talk about things like tips. There was a report about how Americans have slowed down on tipping, and that's no lie. I got a tip today that shocked me. I would never believe that someone would give you a tip of a penny. I got a penny as a tip today. Oh boy. You know what? This is a screenshot. Right there, look at it. Where he talks about tips, a penny. I got a penny as a tip. And I think it's time for people to just kind of realize that, it's okay to try to get a side hustle, but in a dying economy or a challenged economy, if we have to sound politically correct, I'd rather just call it a dying economy, because you're having jobs disappear every day and no one is talking about that. Meanwhile, they're celebrating that, we had 200 and how many? 53,000 jobs from April. And no one is telling you that most of those jobs are jobs that came back in the hospitality department or industry, right? So these are lots of like restaurants and hotels that probably closed down for COVID. And, maybe they reopen here today, reopen another one tomorrow. I dash here, so I see a lot of restaurants that are still not allowing in-person dining. So imagine one of those restaurants suddenly says, hey, you know what, guys, we think we want to try in-person dining once again. And they decide to call, maybe they had 10 people working for them before the pandemic, and they decided to say, okay, you know what, guys, 5 of you come by, let's see what's going on. They're calling that job creation. That's not job creation. Is that job recovery? I don't know what that is, but they're not creating anything new. Does that make sense? And so, as I was talking about the tips, I find like in dashing, I have seen a lot of people. I've met a lot of people say, hey, yo, I was a realtor, but the market's not really doing pretty well right now. I just decided to start dashing. I was this, I was that. Right? And I think that people fail to realize that dashing is really, really horrible right now. I'm telling you. Right now I am driving, trying to get a dash downtown Baltimore. And how long have we been talking? I'm still waiting. I just finished my last dash like 5-10 minutes ago, right? And I'm still waiting for another day. This is a Sunday morning, guys. It never used to be like this. These hotels out here always had people ordering. Yesterday was Pimlico. And if you don't know what that is, it's, the race thingy down in Baltimore. And you could not even feel it. Doordash orders have shrunk. They have fallen. I mean, I wish, I would just start, in the course of the video, I'll just be putting up some great tips I have gotten before on Doordash. Like from a year ago, like 2 years ago. And I want you to compare those tips with getting a penny. I just got a penny some minutes ago. It's ridiculous. And I think part of the reason it's not just what DoorDash as a business is doing, but I think it also has to do with supply and demand. You're having a lot of people try to get into DoorDashing, right? There is that. Because, I mean, you can't blame them. They're trying to make ends meet. They have a family. They have things they have to do. But then, while these people are trying to do that, you also have at the same time a lot of the people who order from DoorDash refusing to, tip as much as they used to before. And you cannot blame them. There's no money in the system, right? People are struggling. There's lots of stuff going on. Banks are failing. And so you cannot blame people for not having enough to tip you. But then there's something else that really happens that can be disturbing. And that is, you find there's something going on now. Let me talk about what people are doing before I talk about what the business is doing. So what I find is, it's just weird. The less the order, the more the work. So you will have someone tell you, hey, hand the order to me. But you find the directions, and the instructions would be, hey, you go over the 7 mountains, across the 7 seas, go through the 7 valleys, and then go over my fence, and then call me. And you do all that for how much? Oh yeah, $3. No tips. It's just been weird. I don't know how humans are, but in my experience, people who give you like good tips never really try to stress you with the order. Let's just say, oh, leave it at the door. And then you check, oh, you got a tip for $5, for $10, for $20. Some of them even come out to meet you. Like, hey, thank you so much for bringing my food, or blah, blah, blah. But those people who are not willing to add any tips, I kid you not, those are the people who are saying, hey, you know what? They're calling you 3 times, where's the food? It says you should be here. And I'm like, dude. Right. But that's number one. But number 2 is, there's also something else DoorDash is doing. And I've experienced this firsthand a couple times. So DoorDash allows you to, take like 2 different orders. Okay? Fine. And you would think this is exciting. Before now, they could combine 2 orders, and let's say the 2 orders come down to, let's say, $12. Oh, you could pick it because you got a $12 order, and maybe it just says 5 miles on it, right? Like that's 5 miles, the duration of the order, right? Okay. But now something else happens, and I should put a screenshot over here. This is how, when you get a DoorDash order, that's how it works. When you look at the screen, you can see where it tells you how much you expect to get, right? It also tells you what the mileage will be from where you are to get to the store, and then from there to get to the customer's house. So it doesn't tell you the customer's name right now. It doesn't tell you the address. It just gives you like it just basically, you can just have an idea of where you're going. You can see this. This is from trying to get an order that I was yet to accept. All right, so but meanwhile we are still driving. We're still driving looking for an order. Oh yeah, And if you've never been to Baltimore, that is the famous Federal Hill. I'll tell you a fun fact about it. Can you see the cannons up over there? Can you see that? Oh, maybe not. Right, so this is the Federal Hill neighborhood, and I'm just still looking for an order. And where was I? Yeah. So as I was saying, you could get you an order, and it says like say $12, and these are maybe there are two orders combined. So maybe because the two stores are close to each other, or the two customers live close to each other. But what I started doing was, you could check this order for $12 and it says 5 miles, and you could realize that maybe one of the orders, maybe the one that's a mile from where you are, would pay you $9, and then the other one that would take another 4 miles, it's the one that pays you $3. And so what most drivers would do is they could accept it, go in, and then reject the other one that is not economically reasonable, right? But DoorDash has kind of changed the settings on her app. That right now what happens is, if you get an order for say $12, using the same example, you no longer have the ability to see which of the orders is $9 or $3. If you click both orders to get the details on the order, it'll tell you $12 order. And you check the second one, $12 order. More like trying to confuse you to feel, oh, could this be a $24 order, package? But the thing is, it's hiding that from drivers. And I understand capitalism, they need you to do the work. But the point is, they realize that people are tired of such orders. I understand. But prices are going up every single where. And you are expecting people with rising gas prices to keep doing these orders for $2.75, for $3.50? I mean, if you do not have money to be placing an order for your food, I understand it. Why? How about you don't place the order for the food? I'm not here trying to say, oh, you have to be so greedy, like they just have to pay more than that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there is no reason why, because it's like you would not walk into McDonald's and say, hey, I don't really have money for food. Could you just please give me food? I mean, maybe one or two of the people out there could be kind to just give you a soda, a cup or something to just get, a small cup for a soda or something. But that is not the standard. So DoorDash cannot keep, they understand. Why would you allow someone drive for 8 miles only to give them $4 or $3? That's ridiculous. You get what I'm saying? And they have been doing this again and again and again. So I don't know what it is with their competition, like Grubhub or Uber Eats. I mean, I used to drive for Uber Eats as well, but I stopped it because with Uber Eats, I mean, I'll get into that in another video. Let this just be on DoorDash. And the tipping culture has somewhat disappeared. Right now, it's more like slavery. And I'm not saying that everyone has to tip you. That's not what I'm trying to say. Believe me, I appreciate you ordering on DoorDash because I could be your driver, right? But I'm just saying that if you have to do that, yeah, it's unreasonable to say, like the other day, let me give you an example. I had a store pickup. Now, this was not food. Some people don't know about this. Like, you may place an order for groceries. What you think may be Instacart, DoorDash does that. I had a store pickup from what was the name of that store? Safeway, and it came in 3 carts, full to the brim. 3 carts. You had over. I gotta make a U-turn here. There's nothing happening over here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm still looking for an order, right? So you had to go, and this is just to tell you how dry ordering has dropped on these apps. Because, and yet they keep telling you, oh, business is moving. This is a Sunday morning. Sunday mornings are usually popping. This is downtown Baltimore. It used to be pretty good. But guess what? Nothing. So back to the story. I was saying that you had I had to pick up 3 carts, and I was like, this is so much. And then suddenly I saw another guy show up. It turned out they split the orders into 2. They split that order into 2, or for 2 drivers. Okay. And then we now had to pick up this order, empty everything, take it to our cars, drive to the location, and it was on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. And both of us ended up going upstairs 4 times each. That's how much the orders were. That's how much the orders were. And let me just explain something. You had, I can't remember, I think I had to go up with like 5 you know, those 24 packs of like Deer Park water, stuff like that. I think I had 5. He had like 5 or 6. You had what's the other, oh gosh, I can't remember. Different packs of things like that, you know. And when it was all done, the other driver was cursing out because he realized he was given $7 for that. And I couldn't even say anything, because it turned out that what Doordash gave me was about I think it was about $8. So it was terrible for me, right? Now you may think, oh come on, but I mean, you are trying to order the whole store, and you know it's that much, and I don't get it. Why don't you do it yourself? And so you're having people have to come, you know, to the last floor, the 3rd floor, the 4th floor, whatever, when you know in your building you don't have any elevators. You are not even trying to meet them at the door. You don't give a damn about your time. And then if you've ever done, or for those who are thinking about doing Doordash, when it's time for taxes, you realize you cannot really write a lot of things off, unlike when you were driving for, say, Uber. I mean, I can go on and on. And so I find that it's not a very it's not a side hustle you should be considering in this time. Because when you consider rising gas prices, when you consider the fact that lots of people are losing jobs, and as such, there's 2 parts to that. First is lots of people are losing jobs and are not having that kind of money to just want to order food. And then the second part is lots of those people are trying to, you know, also go ahead and try to dash. So you are having a lot more drivers, a lot more dashers struggling for much less. Yeah, okay, this is Federal Hill. Let's see if you can see it from here. Does that make sense? Do you see that? Yep. Yeah, I'll put that fun fact when it's all done. So guys, I don't know if that was too fast. Maybe one day we'll go up the hill. Maybe one day we'll go up the hill. Yeah, you see that cannon over there beside the flag? There's a story with that. Well, that comes with that. So it's just my opinion that anyone thinking of a side hustle has to really reconsider these things. I'm not giving financial advice, but I don't think you're trying to put your car through lots of wear and tear, driving thousands of miles a day just to get $100. I can do a lot more in-depth on other side hustles that I think that I have experience in, that I have seen, like, you know, because it's not just how much you make, you also have to consider how much you put into it, right? And right now I think that what Doordash is doing with her drivers is horrible. And but there again, it's capitalism. They have to make money, right? And well, it is what it is. Yeah, fun fact. So Federal Hill, I mean, there's a story that during the Civil War, right, that Lincoln asked those cannons you saw there to be turned from the harbor to face the city. I'm going to show you the harbor. Oh boy, I hope you can we catch it? Yeah, I think we can. If you, I'm trying to put it to the right. Look, this is downtown Baltimore, guys. So yeah, do you see the, oh boy, oh fudge, I really can't see. Do you see anything there? That's the harbor. Okay, do you see things that look like ships out there? Not really. I'm sorry. Probably try to do something better later. So Lincoln asked those cannons to be turned from the harbor to face the city. And there was a reason for that. Because the then governor of Maryland was not in support of the war. So because he was anti-Lincoln, Lincoln was concerned that he could shoot federal troops. And so that's basically the fun fact. So he used presidential powers to get that, to turn away from the harbor to face the city, you know. And I mean, there were lots of political debates back then. There are always political debates about everything until 100 years later, and everyone loves all those people. It's crazy. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's been a pretty long video, I mean, this particular one, but I hope you got some value. And if you did, I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you can share it with your friends. Hit the notification button so as to be notified every time we come up with new content. And please check out our other videos, and see you over there. Oops, the camera fell.